Hi, this is Mr. Manley. In this video, I want to look at matching a graph to the narrative about a certain circumstance. And if you look at these two graphs here, what should jump out to you is that they both have a horizontal axis, an x-axis, if you will, of time. But then if you look at the vertical axis, this vertical axis is in terms of distance, and this vertical axis is in terms of speed. And the reason for that is reflected in the narrative. So let's read this. A bird of prey leaves the nest to go hunting. It flies for several miles away from the nest before stopping to eat. Okay, so over time, the distance from the nest, it's flying several miles away. So the distance is growing initially. And if the distance is growing, we want the value on the vertical axis, the y-axis, to be increasing. So let's look at that. So this is increasing. So over the course of time, the distance from the nest is growing. It's flying away from the nest. This one is going up. This one is going up. Now this one is not going up initially. So this one is no good. We're not gonna be using that one. Now let's move to the second part of the narrative. All right, so it stops to eat. All right, so, and if it stops to eat, it's gonna be eating for some amount of time, right? And during that time, its distance from the nest is not going to be increasing. So let's take a look at that. See here, there's an amount of time where the distance is flat. It's not increasing. Flat, flat. So all of these are still possible. We went away from the nest for an amount of time, and then for an amount of time we went no further from the nest, or the bird went no further from the nest. All right, after eating, it continues flying away from the nest for several more miles. Okay, so it's gonna go up again. This is going up again. Now this one goes down, so that's no good. And then there's even more here. It's gonna go up later on, but that's going way past what is being expressed in the narrative. And this one's going down, which we don't like as well. So by process of elimination and explicitly matching the narrative to the graph, we see that this is the choice. Now might be a good time. You might pause here and look at this second one, look at B here, and you might try that on your own. And then after pausing, come back and see if you match my analysis. Here we have Elsa driving at a constant speed. Okay, so initially, for the first period of time, the speed is constant, which means it's going to be, the speed is going to be flat. The speed is not going to be changing. So there, it's not changing. Here it's going up. So that one's no good. The speed's not increasing. Here, speed's increasing. That's no good. And here, the speed is flat. So we're all right there. So as of right now, the first one and the last one are possibilities. Continuing on, she then slows down to pass an accident. So we're going to have a decrease in speed. And that is happening here. See, the speed is going down. Now here, after the initial constant speed, this is showing the speed going up, an increase in speed, and that's not what's happening here. So let's go ahead and eliminate that. So by process of elimination right now, I've got the first selection as the answer, but let's go ahead and see if the rest of the narrative bears that out. All right, she goes back to her original speed and continues driving. All right, so look at this. Here, constant speed. Here, she decreases to pass the accident. Now she needs to get back to her original speed. So that's what we have here. We have the increase, so there is an increase, the upward, and then it levels off at the original speed that it was at. And by that analysis, we have that as the choice of the graph that matches this narrative. And that's all there is to that.